Hello everyone and welcome to OLED VR. Today we're going to talk about how we can reduce or actually completely eliminate the MURA effect on the PlayStation VR2. So to provide some context here, we released a video last week where we showed what the PlayStation VR2 MURA effect looked like through the lens of the PlayStation VR2. So this made it possible for consumers to actually see what this effect is about in case they've read it online. And this stirred quite a bit of discussion. We had several hundred comments here on YouTube and on Reddit, and basically we have two camps. One of the camps don't see MURA at all, or they see it and they're not affected by it. Then we have the camp for which this is a huge problem. People have returned their headsets and they are angry at YouTube reviewers who have not discussed the MURA effect at all, claiming that it has a crystal clear image, which is something that has been reiterated by reviewers. And I mean, first of all, we don't need a polarized debate here. If you don't see MURA, that's great for you. If you see MURA, that sucks for you. But we don't need to be angry at each other just because we have different preferences or different sensibilities in terms of this. For me, however, this is a problem. It has made me kind of regret the whole purchase of the PlayStation VR2. I'm a regular consumer in this sense. I wanted to use this for games. Actually, we don't cover games on this channel even. So I'm only discussing the hardware because it's interesting in terms of VR in general. So I set out to actually try to reduce the MURA effect, trying different methods. Now, the first thing that you might have seen here is to reduce the in-screen brightness. This is not what we're talking about in this video. I tried it, I didn't think it helped at all, almost. At least not more than the cost of actually losing that brightness. No, it didn't help for me. If that helped for you, great. But we're discussing a whole different method altogether in this video. And yeah, it is a really weird fix, so I'm going to have to take you through the process here. So what I did was that I did some new recordings in a particularly bad spot. I zoomed in even more to be able to see more of the subpixel structure, to be able to study what is actually going on here. And you can see here on the screen now what I'm talking about. We have a gradient going towards the light from almost complete darkness to light. And in between here, when I'm moving the camera, you see that there are a lot of green lights. For some reason, but we are at a really deep level here, so this is not necessarily what you're going to experience inside the PlayStation VR2, but it gives you a better overview of the structure of the pixels that are causing this. So I did some more research, and it turns out that the PlayStation VR2 uses OLED displays. I mean, we all knew that, but a particular kind, pentile OLED, which has a different subpixel system than normal LCD RGB. So with LCD, we have 3 subpixels for RGB, red, green, and blue, which we use to produce the various colors. For the OLED pentile that the PlayStation VR2 is using, they have full subpixels for green, but only half the subpixels for red and blue. And when I noticed a lot of green constituting this MURA effect, and not so much red and blue, you can see those two, but it's not as pronounced and it's not as bright. Then it seemed like this kind of is related to the problem. Another thing that may be on top of this is this anti-screen door effect filter that they have, and this might even accentuate these greens further. I don't know yet, that's just a hypothesis. But for me, I reduced the problem to these green pixels that sort of stick out like a sore thumb, which ruined the experience for me and really create this MURA effect. And I found a way to get rid of these green pixels, or at least get rid of them sticking out like a sore thumb, which I really feel is the best expression for this. I can't help but notice it. I really want to be immersed. I just can't. In some scenes, sometimes it's better than others. And here is the fix. Very weird. So you might guess what's going on here, but I'll explain it. You see that my glasses are green. one should then think that I'm seeing just a whole lot more green, but no, the reason that my glasses are green here is because all the light that is green that's coming toward here is being filtered out. So you can actually see through, I can try to show you here on the camera, but if it works, then you should see the environment or me as quite, yeah, I can see it here, as quite red and blue instead. It has a different tint altogether. And when I was so surprised, I was genuinely shocked because this was some of the first things that I actually tried this morning, finally the weekend, so I can do this kind of stuff. And the mirror effect is gone, like completely gone. If I really try to see it, yes, I can see that there is an unevenness in terms of the pixels here. But that's about it. It doesn't bother me. It does not stick out like a sore thumb when I'm wearing these glasses. Now, does that mean that everyone should buy these kind of glasses? No, there are of course some caveats with using sunglasses inside of VR, but we might be closer to a solution here. So basically, the problem is of course that you're getting a different hue towards your whole VR experience while wearing those. You will maybe feel more immersed, but the colors will be changed and the games aren't designed to be run through this filter. This gives me two kind of hopes. For one, I actually have a way of playing MURA intensive games. I'll just use these. It genuinely works. But the hope that I have here is that someone can design some actual headset lenses that utilize some sort of blocking of the green light, but without being sunglasses and without changing the experience too much. So I'm going to talk to VR Optician, the really great guys, to see if they have some ideas for this. The other thing is that maybe this can be fixed with software updates. Maybe they can reduce the way that the green is pronounced in the overall color scheme of the games themselves. Because people have already noticed that some games are worse than others when it comes to this, and some are, better, obviously. For instance, I tried to launch Pavlov, and I thought that was quite great, but Resident Evil can be quite bad. But I think that there might be something to do with this. I'm going to experiment with this further, find different kinds of glasses, try to custom make them towards the headset. So if you want to continue these explorations with me, then you can subscribe to the channel. But what I also really want from you guys is to try this. So you don't need to have these special green light blocking lenses. You can use regular sunglasses. I tried that too, and it really reduced the greens there as well. So please do try yourself, report the results. And the only reason why I can't show you through the lens footage here is that I'm using, as you can see, glasses. And even my biking glasses, which this happens to be sport glasses, they have prescription. So if I film through the lens, it will just seem really blurry to anyone without my vision. And also for me when I have corrected vision already. So one step closer to a fix. I'll be generally playing with these in some games because I really liked it. It became a whole lot more immersive. If you ever tried Kayak VR Mirage during nighttime, it's terrible. Like the mirror, it really destroys the experience. It's not playable for me. If I use these, super dark. But it changes the intensity of the light. It's not as bright because you're wearing sunglasses, obviously, and it changes the overall color scheme. So it's not a perfect fix, but we're closer to some kind of solution. And if you want to follow this adventure further, you can subscribe to the channel. I'll keep you guys posted. But please also keep up with the lively discussion and share your own experiences by using sunglasses or something like this to see how it actually alters your experience. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and there will be a full review coming of the PlayStation VR2, at least now that I'm done for now experimenting with ways to actually reduce the mirror effect. So stay tuned for this too, and if you like this kind of experimental content, like hardware reviews of VR, then subscribe to the Alt VR YouTube channel. Thank you.